Hi guys, I hope you're doing absolutely amazing so far. Welcome to this video on list and navigation. So we'll start off with understanding what is list. It's basically a vertical stack with a scroll view. And the vertical stack is again, it's a lazy vertical stack. So let's understand what is list first. And then we'll talk about navigation, where we'll talk about navigation link, navigation stack, and navigation bar. So let's get started. So here we have the file fourth where I have mentioned list and navigation as the name of file, and I'm gonna comment this one as well and enable this one. So we have our simple layout as we are following in every video. We have our structure list and navigation example. Inside that we are calling our examples. We have the preview where we are calling list and navigation example. And if we want to run this application, I have mentioned this inside our application here as well. Now, let's start with list. So here we have the example for list. I will mention here list. So it's a basic list example where we have property fruits and we have some string values in it. And we have our body, and inside that we have the component name list where we mention fruits, which is our property. We are just list is basically like a loop is going through the values one by one, and fruit is actually getting the values one by one. And we are creating a text and just mentioning the value. Here this here this backslash dot self, we have talked about this in concurrency course. It's very simple, it's nothing but the property you have here, which is fruit property. Let's say it was a class and it was having some properties in it. Then what we do to access that particular property is we write backslash and dot and give the name of the property. And that's how we access the property. Here, fruit is not really a class. It's just a simple property. So we just say backslash dot self. And that's it. That's how easy it is to create list. Now I have pasted this in our example and we can see this in the preview. So this is how it looks like. I'll make it slightly bigger as well. And this is how it looks like. It is scrollable. And if I add more values to it, it will look like, let's give it a second, and it will look like this. So it's simply a list. It doesn't do anything right now. And it's a simple example of how to create a list. So I've mentioned the notes. It displays a list of items with automatic scrolling, automatically supports large lists efficiently, and also by efficiently I mean lazily. Let's move on to the next example where we explore a little bit more about list. So here we have the swipe list example. So it's same list, but we can use a modifier called swipe action. Right now, I've created a property item here and it's a state property. If there is any change, it will reflect the change in the UI. That is all what the state property does. So add state just makes our simple variable store property publisher, and it maintains the state of the view. If there is any change in it in real time, it will look for this item in the whole view, and wherever it is being read, it will refresh that. And let's talk about our swipe action. So here we have the task 1, task 2, task 3 values, and in the body, simply we're using list. Inside that, we are running a for each loop on item and accessing the item itself. Once we have the item, we just create a text and put the item in here. And let's talk about our dot swipe actions modifier. So what it really means is that we are right now here giving a button with a role destructive. It will remove the item, and we are giving that button a label as delete and system image trash. So when you swipe right now, I think we will have to run this. Actually, I will have to put this first in here. So let's uncomment this and comment our previous example. So right now we can see the task 1, 2, 3. And if I swipe left after clicking, it will give me this option of trash. And this is this button we have given here. It's of destructive role. If you click here, it will delete the value. And that is what the swipe action we have for. We can give it some other role as well. Let's explore what all we have. So let's explore cancel, and it gives some sort of, when we click cancel, it will cancel it, and it seems like it's deleting it, but destructive is more of a theme with it. When you swipe, it gives you a red color. So you can see that we are not giving any color. So it's because you have given destructive. It's the theme, the red color theme it's getting, which seems much more appealing and makes sense that we are going to delete something, and that's it. We can just delete all of them like this. And that is it. That is how the swipe action is performed on a list. Now let's explore a bit more about this. So I have mentioned the nodes for swipe action. Swipe left to delete an item dynamically. Supports additional actions like pinning or marking. And let's go on to further exploring this. So we can allow the reordering and deleting the list items. So we have our for each loop here, and we have the modifier on move, and let's just comment this one. And what we have here is our editable list example. I will just mention it here. So let's uncomment this and comment this. And what on move does is, when you click edit, it will allow you this option to move it around, and you can actually reorder it. It seems like in here in the preview, it doesn't seem to work exactly how we want. Let's run this application. And now if I click edit, it will allow me to move the items. Let's bring one right below, and when we click done, the first task is task 3, then 2, and then 1. Right now it doesn't have the swipe because we are not using any swipe modifier. Let's enable on delete and understand what it does. So it will take the list and remove the item from it. On delete will just allow you to delete, and let's see how. Let's run it. Now when you click edit, it will give you this red minus icons, and when you click on this, it will give you the option to delete, and we can just simply delete it. It will actually go to the item and remove the item from the array. And when we're done, we can just click done. We can also swipe directly instead of clicking edit and clicking on that red minus icon, and we can simply delete it like this. We can add our swipe action here as well. So let's add it here. So we have to apply the swipe action on each text. And let's run it now. And when we swipe now, it will give you the option to delete, and it seems same as the delete. So maybe I can give it some care system icon. Let's run it. And when you swipe, you can see it's giving the swipe action. So what happened to the on delete icon, the trash icon? Well, it's not there. When we click it, it will remove the swipe action, will remove it from the items, and it's going to remove all if the item is the one we have swiped down to. And we are doing the same thing in on delete as well. We are removing with the help of the particular index. So it's pretty much same thing. So instead of putting a swipe action on each text, we can just take use of this on delete modifier and just apply it onto the list. Make sure when you create the list, you will have to apply it right within the list. And let's take a look at navigation title. You can see a navigation stack here, which was not here in this case. So in the navigation stack, I have no modifier applied on it, but I have modifier navigation title saying editable list, which is inside the navigation stack. So this is an exception here. We generally apply the modifiers outside the component, but it doesn't work in case of navigation stack. We have to put this inside the navigation stack. And we have the dot toolbar, which is basically a way to put any UI element on a tool on a navigation bar. So when you see this edit, it's a navigation bar here. So we'll understand this in just a couple of minutes. Let's continue with our on delete, and actually that is all there is when it comes to on delete. So let's move on to the next example and understand navigation title and the toolbar modifier. So I have mentioned here in the notes the navigation, the list here supports item movement and deletion with edit button. Or also we don't need the edit button. We can just swipe left and it will enable us. And to give a toolbar inside the navigation bar. So navigation bar is basically this much area. And to add any item in it, we have to use the toolbar. So it's basically a way to put any UI element inside the navigation bar. And this toolbar we can use only if there is a navigation stack. So let's understand it in a simple way in the next example. Let's take a read on the second point, that is automatically handles list updates. And when you delete, it just automatically will handle that. And let's now come to our amazing topic, navigation stack, navigation link, and also we'll talk about navigation bar. So navigation bar is really just a term. It's not a component. It's just a term that we use to specify the area here. And let's take a look at this one simple example. So navigation stack here is going to manage all the navigation links. So we have the list, and inside that we have tags. When you click on the tags, it will take you to a view, or it will take you to the destination where I have created a simple view, which is a detail view. And here the detail view is very straightforward. It's very simple view. It's just a text saying this is a detailed screen, and it has the navigation title as well. We'll understand the navigation title here. As we understand so far, that navigation title is something that you use to give a title to your navigation stack. So let's understand first what is navigation stack. So when you create navigation link, you can create multiple navigation link. Let's run this first, and I will enable this one. And let's come back to our example and let's run it. So here we have the navigation title and this is our navigation link. And you can see it says an arrow. When you click on it, it will take you to the detailed page. You see a title here, which is the navigation title we gave to our view. And navigation title is something we can use if there is a navigation stack. And let's continue with navigation link first. So when you click on the navigation link, it will just take you to the particular view, the destination. And if you have multiple navigation links here, the navigation stack is going to manage all the navigable things inside it. For example, navigation link. So how does it manage? When you click on the navigation link, it will push the detail view, the destination view, inside the stack. Think of it as the stack. When we have a simple stack, we put numbers in it. So we put 1, 2, and 3. So 3 will be on top, and below that 2, and below that 1. When you pop, the third number will be popped first, then second will be popped, and then finally 1 will be popped. Just like that, when you have multiple navigation link here, what it will do is it will create, when you use navigation stack, it will manage all of these navigation links. So when you click on the first link, let me refresh our view here. I will stop this. So when you click on the first navigation link, it will take you to this view. So you can think of it as this view is pushed inside the stack. When you click back, it will pop that detailed view of the stack. And that is how it is going to push and pop that detail view for our first navigation link. And that is how the navigation stack is managing this first link. When you come back, you can click on the second one. It will push this view inside the stack. When you come back, it will pop that view out of the stack. And the third one you can click, it will happen. It will do the same thing with the stack. And that is how this navigation stack is going to manage the navigable things like navigation link. And we can use a modifier navigation title inside the navigation stack. Outside it doesn't work. Usually we use the modifier outside, but it's an exception here in case of navigation stack. We can give our navigation stack a title as well. Think of it as some important link, a set of group of links related to something, and we can just give it a title here, and that is it. Also, when you click on the link, it is showing you the view. This is a detail string, but it's showing you two more things. Detail, which we know it's a navigation title, but there is no navigation stack in this view, right? So how are we able to use the navigation title? So it's because the view knows that it's the destination view for this link, which is managed by this navigation stack. So since it is managed by the navigation stack, it's going to be having navigation title, which is right here. Even if you don't have, it's allowed to have, the destination is allowed to have a navigation title. And the back button is something that the navigation stack adds automatically. And the area in which it is adding it is called the navigation bar. So how the navigation stack is managing all the navigable things like navigation link, just when you click on it, it will give you a way to come back so that it can pop that destination view from the stack. So when you click back, it will pop the view. And that is it. That is how the navigation stack works. And let's talk about a little bit more about the navigation bar. So when you click on the navigation link, this area where we have the back button and it says home, basically indicating that the previous screen where you can go to is the home screen. And this home title is taken from the navigation title here. If I change it to home 1, and when I go, it will say home 1. And that is how the navigation titles are very much useful. It's give you a clear indication which view I'm going to get back to, and the current view I'm popping it from the stack, and I'll get back to our main navigation stack. And that is it. Let's talk something about navigation bar. So we have the navigation title. So we have the navigation links here. We have the navigation title, and the navigation bar is right above that. So when you click, it's right above the title here. So this is the area which is considered as navigation bar. Can we add views to navigation bar? And that is true. So let's see examples of that. So here in the notes, we remove. In the notes I've mentioned the navigation stack. It uses the navigation stacks for managing the screen. When you tap on the navigation link, it will push a new view inside the stack. And when you go back, it will pop from the stack. The custom navigation bar, I will remove the custom or because it will confuse you a little bit. It's a simple navigation bar because we are going to add a couple of items to it. We can say it's a custom navigation bar, but it is nothing like a navigation bar created from scratch. It's just we adding a couple of views on it. So it's customized by us, nothing else. So we have this structured custom navigation bar. We have our navigation stack and we have the text here. Welcome to the SwiftUI. We have given the navigation title beforehand, and all we are doing, we are not adding any navigation links. We are just going to use a modifier dot toolbar. So when you add anything inside the navigation bar, it's basically you are adding a tool in the navigation bar. So we use the toolbar for it, and inside that we just mention our items. So for that we use toolbar items. All we have to mention where you want that toolbar item, because the navigation bar is from this point till the end of the width of the screen. So when we say navigation bar leading, it's going to put it somewhere here, and I'm creating a button here simply, which is having an image, and it's an arrow left image. Let's render this as well, or let's go through it once and then we'll render this. And this arrow left is a button, and when it is clicked, it will say in the console the back tapped. And another one, let's now run it first. So I will mention it custom navigation bar, and I will comment this one. Let's come to our code, and you can see arrow button. Since we do not have the navigation links, the stack does not really, it's a basically a root page. It's the first page. We have added the navigation bar, and we are adding a back button here, although it doesn't make sense any because it's not going to bring you to any other view, because this is the root view having no navigation links. And since there is no navigation link, when you click on it, it will give you the back button. But right now we are onto the home page, and we are just understanding how to add the view inside the navigation bar. So we have the toolbar to add our tools or views to the navigation bar. We use the toolbar item, we give the placement and our view. And we have another toolbar item. The placement is navigation bar trailing, which basically means on the right side, the trailing side. And again, we have the button, which is an image, and it has a system image gear. When you click on it, it will say settings tapped. Very simple. Let's run it. And this is how it looks. When you click on the gear, it will say settings tapped. And when you click on the back button, it says back tapped. So that is how you can add view to or inside the navigation bar. Quite straightforward, nothing major. So the difference between navigation link, navigation stack, and navigation bar is very simple. We use navigation link to create a text, which is a link, and it will take you to a view. When you want this link to be, when we have multiple links, when you're going to go by clicking on the link to the destination view, you need a way to come back as well. And that is why we have the navigation stack, and it will manage that. So we need a stack to manage this going to the destination view and coming back. So when you click, it will take you to the destination view. It will pop, it will push the destination view inside the stack. When you come back from the destination view back to your home view, that is when it will pop the destination view from the stack. And that is how it will work for one link. And then you can click on next one. It will work the same way, the push and then the pop when you come back. And the navigation bar is basically right about the navigation title, where we can actually add our tools. And that's it. I've mentioned a small note here. Places buttons in navigation bar leading and navigation bar trailing. Works with toolbar item to add icons or buttons dynamically. Now here I've summarized things. When it comes to the feature, like we have learned about the basic list, swipe action, editing like move, you can reorder the list values. You can delete as well. And we learned about the basic navigation, that is navigation link and navigation stack, how it works, and the custom navigation. And this is just quick snippet. When you want to just revise the notes, you can just come here, go through it, and you'll be back on track. So when it comes to the basic list, we use the list and we just mention the items. We use a modifier swipe action for adding the swipe action, and inside that we can add a button and we can just remove the item from the array when you click on the button. On move to arrange the values in the list or the items of the list. On delete is basically same as swipe action. And navigation stack, navigation link, and the toolbar is the modifier we use to add the toolbar items to our navigation bar. And if you get confused, I will just come to this final summary to understand what's the difference. So it's a feature I've mentioned, and we have the navigation stack, navigation link, and navigation bar. Which one to use basically based on the scenarios. If you run these scenarios in your mind, you will get an understanding. Oh yes, it makes sense for this scenario. We will definitely go with this one or that one, like that. So the purpose for the navigation stack is it manages a navigation hierarchy, push and pop of the views. Navigation link creates tap to navigate button. And it's, you can think of it as a simple button. When you tap it will take you to the destination view. Very simple. And when it comes to the navigation bar, it displays the title, back button, and actions. The required for navigation. So when it comes to required for navigation, you have to use the navigation stack. And to have links, you have to use the navigation links so that you can have some navigable items inside the navigation stack. And we don't use navigation bar, it's simply a bar, and it's just basically a place where we put a couple of more views. Now, so basically I've mentioned no, but used with navigation stack. If you want, you can use, but it's not a requirement when you need some sort of navigation in your application. Pushes a new view. Yes, so when it comes to which one push a new view, so we use navigation link. When it is tapped, it will push a new view, and navigation stack is where it will push the view. So here when tabbed, it will push the new view, but the stack will manage it using push and pop. And when it comes to navigation bar, there is no interference of navigation bar when it comes to push and pop. It's just a simple place. So I have written here no UI element only. Can add button. So when it comes to navigation link, I have written no here because it's not really a button. It's simply a text which is a hyperlink, which will take you to the view. So it's not really a button. And navigation stack also doesn't add any button. But when it comes to navigation bar, here is where you can add buttons using the dot toolbar so that we can add the button or the tool in our navigation bar. And if you think of it, an example of each, the use case, navigation stack is just going to wrap all the navigable views or navigable things. And when we create the navigation link, it's really a view. So that's why I've written here navigable views, but things will make it more generic and will make the sense of understanding separate here. And when it comes to navigation link, it is used inside the list or buttons. Navigation bar shows a screen, title, and actions like the gear icon. And that is it. That is how simple it is to use list and navigations. I hope you find this video informative, and I will see you in the next one.